Welcome, I am Erin Pierson-Mills, your favorite Las Vegas redhead realtor.
I'm Nick Aquino, co-founder of Aquino Capital Group and your local mortgage broker.
I am Edward Znart. I am a local real estate agent and a market analyst.
And this is Unlocking Las Vegas. Happy holidays and welcome to another podcast of Unlocking Las Vegas with your favorite redhead realtor, Erin Pierson-Mills. And today we have my special guest, #HustleinHeels, Leslie Mcgarry. How's it going, girl?
Hi, Erin.
Well,
Happy holidays,
tell
everyone.
them a story. Who are you? Where are you from? What's your favorite color? Do you have dogs? This is what I ask everybody.
Okay, so I have been a Las Vegas resident for 38 years. I've been a lender for 24. Favorite color is red, and yes, I have 3 precious little baby girls, all 4-legged rescue puppies, Coco, Bailey, and Honey.
We really get along because we have older children. So it's kind of like with some guests, I ask them, you know, what's your traditions? And you're like, I don't have kids. It's wonderful. I know. I'm like, I'm so happy. Like, I don't have to go to like FLM.
Correct.
Or like Opportunity Village. Like, I put in my time, loved it, kind of, sort of. But now I'm like, hey, this is great.
Yes. Traditions this year. Let's see. We do a Sunday roast on Christmas Day, whether or not it's on a Sunday. And then we do Boxing Day the day after Christmas. And because my husband's English.
Yeah, English.
So,
That's
yes.
right. Very
Yes.
cool. So today we're going to talk about the mysteries and unlocking the mysteries of a HeLoc. What does that stand for?
Home equity line of credit, or there's a new term called HeLoan, which is a home equity loan. 2 different things.
Okay. So we talk a lot about, you know, buying and selling, but what happens if you already own your home?
So right now is a great time because there's so much equity in these properties, especially if you purchased between 2017 and 2022. There's a lot of equity in those houses. And so what we're talking about today really is how to tap into that equity and help to save on your monthly. So basically, home equity lines of credit are attached to your home, but they run kind of like a credit card. So you could get approved for, say, $50,000 and only take $25,000. My advice to clients right now is to look at what your credit card payments are and to look at what your car payments are, because the combined interest rates between your first and then your extra debt usually is going to be much, much lower and save you on your monthly if you do a home equity line of credit and pay off all of your debt.
True. Or somebody like me, I was like, I want to get my bathrooms done. I'm looking into flooring. I want to pay these people quote unquote cash because you're going to get a better deal. I don't want to take out a line of credit to do this.
Correct.
So that was kind of our questioning, which, you know, I kind of dived into the HeLoc and I was like, what is this?
Yes.
What is this magical thing?
Yes.
We have resident puppies here. We have resident puppies. And so if it's shaking a little bit, that's the golden's tail.
They're
He's
our
very
friends.
excited. Exactly. So, okay. So how much equity in the home do you think you should have to even consider doing this?
So basically they'll allow you to take out, so they do combined loan to value. So you might hear that term CLTV, that is your combined loan to value. So basically they'll take the value of your first and then your HeLoc up to an 80% loan to value. And so just depending on where your credit score is, what you're comfortable with your payments, income-wise, they'll let you go up to 80% with
Credit score is going to have a factor in
Yes.
this too. I mean,
Yes.
you are taking out a loan. So for say you get a $50,000, you should take it all out and then put back what you don't need, because this is always going to be there.
Yes.
I mean, if you want it sitting in your savings account looking at you, I mean, you could do that. But it's always good to do it before you need it.
You always do it before you need it, and you can leave it there as a line of credit like a large credit card, right? But you don't pay the interest on that if you're not using the money.
It's just hanging out.
It's just hanging out.
It's kind of like your rainy day fund. I mean, it's like, you know, if my air conditioning unit went out.
Yes. And really right now, so the average credit card payment, now, so credit cards are fluctuating. Most credit cards are not a fixed interest rate. And so the average interest rate on a credit card right now is about 22% nationwide.
It got bad.
Okay. And the average for a new car with really good credit is about 9%. On a used car, it's about 13%. So if you figure you're able to take out a home equity line of credit, pay down all your debt or pay off all of your debt, or if you need to purchase a car, or if you've got a child going to college, this kind of frees up your everyday money and lowers your outgoing monthly.
Right. And in somebody like my instance, it's like we're thinking of refinancing my first, and if I use all of that line of credit, we'll kind of combine it when the timing is right.
So a lot of people have gotten fixated on the interest rate on their first mortgage right now. And yes,
if it's like extremely low.
If it's extremely low. And most people, if they purchase between 2017 and 2022, mid-2022, they have less than a 4% interest rate.
Yeah.
Most people.
2s, 3s.
Yeah. But here's the problem. If you've got, say, $1,500 in outgoing extra expenses, credit cards and car payments, your combined interest rate between your HELOC and your first can actually be lower than what your compound interest is on a credit card. And I know that's getting very technical with people, but sometimes you got to look at the bigger picture. And if we can free up actual monthly obligations and wrap it into one loan, it sometimes makes sense.
Let's be
clients.
clear, people live month to month. You want to look at your monthly payments. That's why if you tell me a client is pre-approved up to $500,000, but they only want to spend X amount, that's why we work backwards, and you'll be like, you need to be looking at $450,000 homes. We're always focusing on the monthly. So a lot of people just they don't get that, because they're like, a whatever $700 car payment, and they don't get that they're paying whatever it may be, 13%, 18%, whoever knows what it is, because people come at me all the time. I'm waiting for the interest rates to go down on mortgages. I'm like, what is your car payment? What is your credit card payment? You're paying so much. But it's smaller, and so you just don't
realize.
Absorb it.
You don't realize, and especially on credit card payments right now, because credit card payments fluctuate monthly as far as the interest rate goes. That is not a fixed interest rate. And so if you are on a fixed income, or you do have a very strict budget, and this is the X amount that you can't go over, and that's fluctuating, and you have a credit card that when you originally took out the $5,000 on it and it was 13%, now it's 22, you're in a much different situation. And so always looking at how to tap your equity on a home is always a top priority when you're looking at monthly debt and how to start saving on that money.
Okay. So you could just give you a call. It was really simple. I have to tell you. I mean, she literally sent me a link. It was, I don't even know, 3-4 questions. And then once I got the approval, and then it was very easy actually. And
no appraisal.
No appraisal. No appraisal. My house is pretty though, so it's going to be fine. And so I just linked up my bank accounts. I linked up because I am, for the most part, a 1099 and my husband's tips. And so I'm like, worst case scenario. And it was still very easy. Linked up my bank accounts, linked up my IRS account, and they're like, boom, okay, we got you. It's literally, and the notary now, is it in person?
90% of the document is done remotely, and then you do your general signature in front of a notary, but they come to you, and that's already built in. You don't have to have the appraisal. They do the title work for you. It's very simple, and you'll have your money in 5 days. I've done about 9 of them in the last 6 weeks, and every client has said the same thing. It's super fast. It's super simple.
Yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah, they just move on through.
Yeah. And I had to ask the stupid questions. I ask a lot of stupid questions. I always say I actually want to be the dumbest person in the room, because then I'm just going to learn something. I don't want to be a smarty pants. And so I always call Leslie, okay, stupid question of the day, Leslie, don't make fun of me. So I was like, if you don't know, you don't know. And I was like, a HELOC, but don't you take that out to put it back into your house? Or can I just go on a Disney cruise?
And that's a misconception. A lot I
believed you had to use it for your house. I'm going on a Disney cruise now. No, I'm not.
Well, maybe.
I mean, I want to, but no.
It's possible. But there are some that if you apply with your bank and you specifically say, yes, I'm going to do a home improvement with this loan, that's very specific. These particular HELOCs it's your money, it's your equity. We can't dictate where you're going to spend that money or how you're going to spend that money. But remember, it is a mortgage. It is attached to the house. It is a second. So if it does come to where you want to refinance, you either have to subordinate that or you have to wrap it into your first. But the HELOCs are they're a very smart and strategic way to use other people's money with your own equity.
We've been talking about that quite a bit, using other people's money.
Yes.
What did we just say? I said, I love your Gucci sunglasses. And Mr. Mills, I found some Gucci sunglasses. You're wearing eyeglasses at Ross. And what did you just tell me?
Said, if you can use someone else's money at 24%, or sorry, 24 months at 0% interest, use someone else's money and save your cash.
But I mean, that's if you don't have, well, okay.
Not always.
Oh, okay.
If you study
What else am I doing with that $179 in cash?
If you study the richest people in the world always leverage other people's money.
Yes, I do know that.
Yeah, they will always leverage other people's money.
But let's be clear. You have to use really, really common sense. You don't
Yes.
want to just get this $50,000 or $250,000 or whatever you get qualified for and just go on a spending spree. Okay.
Correct.
We know it's at a lower interest rate, but I mean, let's be smart. Like, do not do it right now so you can go buy your kids all the holiday presents and stuff like that. It's not what it's there for. I mean, the end goal in life is to, create your wealth. And so for me, using it to redo my bathrooms is actually going to increase the wealth at the end of the day. I'm using it for something very specific that I would not or could not take a finance off of anyway. I mean, I don't know, Bed Bath & Beyond. No, what is it? I mean, I'm sure I could, like, Home Depot, give me a credit card to do. No. And we're going to use our own contractors and stuff like that.
Well,
so.
and I'll give you a scenario. I just had this happen with a client, and we've been talking about building out their portfolio of real estate for a couple years. They are about 7 years from retiring. They had a ton of equity in their house. I did their first mortgage. I refinanced it back in 2020, and they were at about a 2.25%. So we looked at their whole picture. We took out a $100,000 equity line. They found their dream home that they want to move into to retire. So we set the whole thing up. They took the equity out of that house. They put the money down on another home. Mm-hmm. They rented out the one that they took the equity out on. And yes, this was all disclosed and it was all done the correct way. That now turned into an investment property. They bought their primary residence with a very small mortgage on it. So it didn't really matter what that interest rate was. And they learned to take that equity and make it work for them so that they are now on the path to retirement. And now they're sitting on $1.2 million worth of properties. And they are 4 years closer to retirement.
Yeah, and I honestly think that with it being election year next year, I have heard, but nobody is Nostradamus, that these interest rates are going to start coming down, and we can talk until we are blue in the face. You want to buy now while not everybody's buying. My dad said, who's the owner of Walmart? Sam Walton?
Yes.
Anyway, Sam from Walmart said, you go shopping for your sun hats in the winter. So you're going to get a better deal. Like when it starts raining, your umbrellas are now at like $50 instead of $15. So it's the same principle. So I can't tell you if you're in the position to actually start shopping for homes now before that interest rate goes down. My buyers are getting partial or fully, seller credits, get their closing costs covered. I am just here to mark this time and date that when it turns to next year, the interest rates go down, everybody's going to go shopping. I will do my best, but I do not think that I'm going to start securing all these seller credits that I'm getting right now.
Correct.
There you go.
And we've turned that into a seller's market, and then that's when they start asking you to take $30,000 out of your 401k and pay over
to beat out everybody else
and all of the things.
They're not going to fix anything.
It's always better to secure the property that you want now, and then we work on a refinance later in the future when rates adjust.
Yeah. Common sense. You're my common sense girl. Well, you look beautiful for the holidays.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Are you excited?
I am.
You're not buying nothing.
No, ma'am.
I like it.
No, everybody's getting a text message, in my opinion, for Christmas.
Oh, well, leave me off that list, please. You're going to tell me to hug more. Leslie knows a little bit too much about me, and so does my mother. I think they bully me on social media because you know what? You've got love languages, okay? And some people just don't like to be touched. It's okay, Some people love that. My husband's love languages is, all of them. But it's physical touch and drives me. Yeah, I love you. Anyway, we play to our strengths.
Yes,
we play
we
to
do.
our strengths. So we're going to wrap this up by saying if you have any questions about HeLoc's, you can definitely put it in the comments or ask me any questions, which I will then shoop, put you right on over here to Miss #HustleinHeels, which I use all the time, but we're very complimentary of each other. Do you have heels? Of course she has on sparkly heels
do.
today.
I
We
do.
look so cute today in our holiday gear.
Yes,
So
we
wishing
do.
you guys a wonderful holiday. If you're looking for a HeLoc or any information on that, you can get a hold of us. And why don't you tell them your how to get a hold of you.
You can
It's
always
pretty easy.
Always reach me at 702-810-8110. You can find me on social media.
We're pretty
Again,
social savvy here.
Absolutely. You can reach me at #HustleInHeelsLV on Instagram. Smoke signal, however you want to get to me, you could get to me. I will answer any questions that you might have and guide you in the right way.
Yeah, and it was really painless. Unlike my finger surgery tomorrow, but more on that, I don't know, not next week, but it'll be a good time.
You should leave in the comments what Erin should have for her final meal tonight before her surgery.
I know, I've been on keto for so many months and I'm like shedding the weight, but after surgery, I don't do lovely with, getting the anesthesia out. I'm not gonna have an appetite, so I'm like, I'm gonna go get a Whopper. Like, this is what I fantasize about when I'm on keto, is like bread. What else would be so bad? Oh, cranberry Bliss bar at Starbucks.
Oh, that'd be good.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We're up north and I might have to stop by a
Bloomin'
C's
Onion.
Candy. Bloomin' Onion. Dang. My favorite C's Candy, and you can't find these anymore. Like, they're few and far between. There's one in a strip mall here. I love dark chocolate covered marzipan. So, I don't know. Time will tell. We'll see. So yeah, you should let me know what would be your disaster meal before going into surgery. That would be a good one. Fettuccine Alfredo, something. I don't know. Well, happy holidays, you guys. And you know where to find us. Love you lots. Your favorite redhead realtor, LV. And #HustleInHeels. Love you all. Mwah! Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And hey, next week is the biggest shopping weekend of the year, so I will be very busy shopping. And so there won't be a podcast next week, but we'll see you right before the end of the year. You guys take care, be safe, shop wisely, and see you on the pod in a couple weeks.